Hello, everyone. My name is Deacon Michelle Skinner of St. Stephen's Baptist Church Kingdom Kids Department. And I wanted to talk to you today about our program. We're going to talk about social media and our young people. So, without further ado, I want to introduce you to our special guest, and that is Sonja Grey. She's the executive director of ECHO, which is the Exploited Children's Help Organization.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sonja Grey with ECHO, and I am the executive director. We are a nonprofit organization located here in Louisville, Kentucky, with over 30 years of experience. Our mission is to prevent and reduce child abuse by providing education, advocacy, and support services to the children and families of Metro Louisville. So we are one of the organizations here locally that ideally we would go into the classroom and help your kiddos learn about digital safety and digital dangers. So tonight we're just going to have a general conversation with some of our young people that can actually help us as adults be able to navigate through the internet and understand more about social media. But most importantly, they also are going to provide some positive reinforcement to their own peers about being a good steward on the internet. So I'm so enthused about being here tonight, and we have a great group of kids, and we're going to have that conversation. So thank you so much.
Okay, without further ado, we're just going to get right into some questions. So, what kind of apps are you guys using right now?
I'm using TikTok and Snapchat, but that's all, really.
Okay.
I'm using Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok.
Okay. Sean. Anybody else want to respond? I'm sorry.
I'm on Messenger Kids.
And Messenger Kids. Okay, cool. Let's talk about TikTok a little bit. Tell me, first off, what is it about TikTok that everybody likes, that all of you all like? What is it about TikTok? And let us know, like, what is TikTok? Because you all know what it is, but we as adults, we may hear that word and we are like, we don't know what that is. So can someone explain that to us?
Yes. So it's basically this app where a bunch of people can download it and they can create videos and create an account, and they can use different sounds and do dances and make their own videos up. And then if people like their videos, they can double tap the screen and then it gives them likes, and then you can comment, or if you turn off your comments, and then you can follow the person by pressing on their profile, and then it just says follow.
Okay.
But yeah, and then you can just you have this thing called a For You page, and then you just scroll on it and it just shows different videos of different people.
Okay. So, Santana, you want to add anything to that about TikTok?
Yeah, about the For You page, it has videos specially made, not for you, only for you to see, but if you say 2 cooking videos, they'll start showing more cooking videos up, and it's just stuff like that.
Okay. Anybody else want to chime in on that? Give us why you are so enthusiastic about using TikTok. Sean, you got anything to add?
Well, I like TikTok because when you use TikTok, like everyone else said, a lot of the stuff that you like, once you like it once, there'll be more of that stuff on there. So if I ever you can get some good information from TikTok as long as you know which information is actual viable information and which is just media, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So let me ask this about TikTok, because I heard somebody say once you develop a video, then there'll be other videos. How do you know, first off, if you develop your own video, where does that go? Just out in the TikTok world so anybody can see that?
Actually, if you set it, you can set it to private or public or friends and stuff.
Okay.
So then the only people you allow to see your account can see it. So like if you don't know somebody, then you can like say not let them follow you so they can't even see your like profile. Like
Oh,
in your videos.
okay.
Can
So
can I go back a minute? I heard about TikTok. I want to hear about Messenger Kids. So,
yeah.
Jaden, can you talk about Messenger Kids?
Messenger Kids is kind of like Messenger, but it's for kids, and only kids can use it, and you can only send certain stuff. Like you can't send gifts and stuff like that because it could not be for kids. So, but you can do like you can call people, text people, like you can send like funny photos, and like if you just want to talk to your friends, you can call, text them. Like you can still send emojis
Okay.
and stuff, but you got to set it up. But your parent got to set it up, and then they have to approve like your friends. Like you can't just do it. Your parents have to approve that friend that you want to accept.
David, I think that is such a good point of what you said about setting it up, but your parents have to approve that. So, YouTube world, listen to what we're saying from straight from Javen, from Messenger Kids, that is very, very important that the parent has the authorization to set that up. Thank you for sharing, Javen and Oren, and also Santana. I want to talk go ahead.
I got a question. How much time are we spending with TikTok and Messenger Kids and I think I heard Instagram earlier? On average, how much time do you spend a day or a week on these websites or these apps?
And this is outside school time.
Really, and a lot of times, especially because me and my boyfriend, we play Fortnite, and he can't talk on there. His mic is broke, and so we have to talk to Kids Messenger, and we'll just be on there for like weeks and days.
Weeks and days. Okay, Sean, you were gonna say something.
For me, it's usually like in between when I'm doing something. So if I'm doing something, I have like 5 minutes before I have to do something else. Or like in between classes, I might scroll TikTok for 5 minutes and then go back to doing what I'm doing.
Anybody else want to chime in on that? About how much time are we spending? Are we going to be a little shy? So, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Sometimes I do spend a little too much time. A little too much. Not that much, but on other times when I actually like come home and actually start on my homework and do other stuff, then I just forget about it. But sometimes I do spend a little too much time on it.
So let me talk a little bit about that. Since we're talking about time and the internet, how do you all feel when you spend so much time on there? Let's say if you're on TikTok and you're on there for a couple of hours, like how do you feel? Like what's that feeling? Like, because you're seeing so much information. Is it overwhelming? Do you feel exhausted once you get off the internet? Do you feel revived? Can you tell me a little bit about that? And then how do you really manage that with some of the other activities? Because what we're also seeing is that a lot of kids are spending a lot of time on the internet, but they're not doing anything physical. So that's really where my question is coming from. And so when you tell me a little bit how you feel about your time on the internet, tell me what are some of the other things that you do outside of social media? Anybody that wants to jump in?
It was like, it's okay for now because of the COVID, but after like, before I missed being like directly at them, but when you're online with your friends, it's like you're right there too. Like you could be just like, sometimes I'll be just on my tablet with my friends and like I forget I still have schoolwork, and then I have to be like, I have to set a reminder sometimes to be like, oh, I still got schoolwork to do. But it takes a lot of distractions from what you're really supposed to do, because sometimes when I'm on my game, I get distracted, and afterwards I will sometimes mess stuff up, and I'll have to do it over and have to fix it and what I'm doing.
You make another good point there about being easily distracted. So sometimes being on the internet too much can actually distract you from what you really need to do. Now, Javon, I know you do some other things as well. So what else do you do outside of just like playing games? Because I think it's really important for kids to know that, yes, we can play games, but we need to do other things that are physical as well. So what do you do as well?
Sometimes I'll ride my bike and stuff with my dad, and sometimes I just ride my bike. I'll play with my cousins outside. But I ride bikes with my dad, but I can't with my cousins because of the COVID. But me and my dad, we will just ride. We will be going for miles. We would just go to the store. We will go around the school, and I also ride my hoverboard.
Okay, wonderful. Let me hear from somebody else about how much time we're spending on the internet and how that makes you feel.
It sometimes when I'm on there, I do get distracted from doing other things, like because when I'm off of like the internet and like not at school, I'm usually running track or at practice or doing something else, or like last year I was at choir rehearsal usually.
Okay.
And so yeah, sometimes it can get distracting, but most of the time I'm not on there that long where I can just not do anything else. Like I still do try to do other stuff and still sometimes balance it out with my like other stuff.
I love that, what you just said, balancing it out. Somebody else, Santana, you got anything you want to add?
Yeah, like once I get off of social media, I feel like I need to do something productive to balance it out, like you said. So I usually go to sports, but again, it is hard because I get distracted by YouTube, which is easily like I can just find any videos, and yeah.
All right. Well, thank you all for sharing on that question. That was very insightful. Once again, that, you know, we need to, what I've heard is we need to balance our time of even being on the internet, even from your standpoint, from the adult standpoint, we need to make sure that we're balancing that time and still being active and using our brains for other things, or using our body to be more physical and, you know, like riding the bike or running track or drawing or something like that. Thank you for sharing. Ms. Skinner, what you got? What's the next question you got for us?
I wanted to know, what is it that you guys are sharing for, as Javen said, for weeks and days at a time? So if we're on the internet that much time, what are we sharing or what are we actually doing? Do I need to rephrase it, or what are you actually doing that much? I know we're on TikTok, and I know some people said that they were looking at videos. Are we sharing like private things? Are we sharing homework? What are we sharing?
I usually just do like on my TikTok, I do dance videos, and then I make like cooking stuff, like random drinks I make, and then I tag my friends in some videos and just ask them what they're doing, and then I make funny videos usually, but yeah. That's it.
Santana?
Yeah, I'm usually rolling on my For You page, tagging my friends and stuff that I found like funny or like cool. Texting my friends about the homework and stuff. Yeah, and that's kind of all I do on there.
Let me turn this around just a little bit from my perspective of what we do. When you're sharing information, has anyone ever shared information with you that made you feel uncomfortable or that you felt was inappropriate? I'm saying no's.
I don't think so.
No?
No.
So let me ask the next question. If someone did share some information with you that was inappropriate, what would you do?
Probably tell my mom or dad, or tell an adult first, and then like they'll handle it from there instead of like responding back or saying, who is this, and talking to them, just like totally ignore it and then tell your mom or dad or something like that.
Okay. Anybody else want to jump in with an answer?
I think I'd either block or report what they said.
Okay. Sean or Javen?
I would usually block, or I would tell my parents, or I would just leave the conversation, or maybe remove them. But I would tell a parent first. And the reason why I say that is because when I was on a game and I was playing a match, there was this one random person who sounded like an older man from like a whole different country.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you had that experience, Javen, you immediately told your mom?
Yes, and we had to get help from my cousin because he played that game more, and he helped us find out how to block. And I have people from different countries and states from around the world and contact me and stuff. So we had to have help. And
okay, let's dive a little bit deeper in that rabbit hole, Sean, of what you're talking about. If someone that you don't know, because you said you was playing the game, right? And then you just heard this voice that you didn't recognize, was not a friend or anything of that nature. And someone got you help to be able to block that information. Has anyone else had an experience like that where you received a message from someone that you didn't know who it was?
Yeah.
Can you share one of those stories or experiences with us? Like what happened?
So for me, it could be like, there was one where like I was on the game and then somebody texted me out of nowhere, but I have like my privacy settings to where like if like somebody that's not on my friends list texts, it doesn't like let me see it, if that makes sense. Like,
yeah,
so if they send like a picture or something, it's like blurred and like they can't just send it. I'll have to like accept it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Santana, did you want to say something as well?
Yeah, it was kind of like Sean's. There was this random person and he was just saying weird stuff. I can't remember what he was saying exactly, but he was saying weird stuff and it was really weird. And he wasn't on my friends list, of course. So, I blocked him.
So you blocked him, but did you also tell a parent about that?
Yeah, I think Sean was actually right there. And
Okay. So once again, what I'm hearing is that even when you're on the internet, whether it's social media or your games, and even if you mark it private, there's still people that can have access to you, because I've heard it from several of you all. And thank goodness that you all did exactly what you're supposed to do. You blocked it. You didn't respond. So that was number one, right? So if we're talking to other kids out there, what we want to communicate is that if someone is trying to reach you, or if you have a message that you don't know who it's from, then first off, do not respond. Then number two, you can block them. And then number three, which is going to be the most important thing, is that you need to communicate to an adult. So you all are A plus. And I just really feel like you're going to be helping a lot of other kids and parents as well. So thank you all for sharing those stories with us. Ms. Skinner, you got anything else next?
Yes, it's probably more about the relationships that they do have with the people that they know. And it's more like, if you are talking with several friends, do you ever see any signs of bullying? Do you ever see any signs of someone being mistreated? Do you ever see anybody being mean to you? I wanted to kind of dig a little deeper in that.
yes, like sometimes like my friends would be like, kick him, but instead though, if we're not at a match, I would just leave and play with him because they're not treating him right. And like my parents and family always say, don't mistreat your friends who are good to you. And so I started playing with him, and we just was playing since then.
Okay.
I love that. Anybody else want to jump in on that? from the question Ms. Skinner asked? Yes.
Yeah. So once I was on my phone and I was so you know how the election happened between Donald Trump and Joe Biden? So some of my friends are Trump supporters and my family's a Biden supporter. So they was getting all mad and like frustrated, I guess. I don't know. But I just said something on my Snapchat because this was when Biden was winning. I just put a little sticker and it just said Biden. It just said the tiniest little thing and it was just in the corner. And I wasn't even like sending it to them directly. I just put it on my thing just to do it for fun. And then they're like all ganged up on me and was all like just saying weird stuff like blah blah blah, like just saying random stuff. So I just told my mom, and I did have my other friends on my they were actually standing up for me on my side, and they were just but we figured it out in the end. But I did tell my principal at school, and she called him down to the office when we was at school, and we talked about it, and they said we figured it out and they would never do it again. But I forgave them.
Oh, I love that at the end, what you said, I forgave them. But let's go back a little bit with you. Mm-hmm. And so you felt like you was being ganged up on the internet just because something that you just wanted to say, right?
Yes, it was about like 5 of them all ganged up on me. Like, I don't know what to do.
How did that make you feel?
It didn't make me feel sad or anything. It just like, that was my opinion. So they don't have to look at it. Like if I post something, they don't have to look at it. They don't have to like it. They can just scroll past it. But I was just like, it's my opinion. So if I have an opinion on something, doesn't mean that I have to change it just because you have a different opinion.
I think that's another key point that you just made, is that even when we put stuff out on the internet that we see, we don't always have to respond to everything that we see, right? Because just like you said, Orion, it's my opinion. And so if you disagree with my opinion, then that's okay, but be respectful about the disagreement, correct? Mm-hmm. And if you're disrespectful in the way that you are giving me the information, and if it makes me feel a certain way, just like you said, I went and told my parent, and then I also told my principal about what's going on. Anybody else want to kind of chime in on that? Anybody else have any other experience with that?
Well, I think I have a saying, and it's if it doesn't apply, let it fly. Because if you say you follow a cooking account, but you don't really like cooking, if you're not interested in cooking, you'll probably unfollow the account. So if I like posted my opinion and you didn't agree with it, I think you should just unfollow, block me, or just keep scrolling past.
Okay, I love that, Sean. Anybody else want to jump in on that? All right, let's Ms. Skinner, I know you have maybe time for one more question, and then I have one question that I want to ask in the end.
And what is one thing that you would change about social media and the way that young people react to social media right now?
I think that if you could change, I think if you like a person, they could change it or update whatever social media is. You could you can make it in a way that you could not be able to say mean things. It could catch it if you say one thing in a different context. This could be able to catch it, and you can't send that text or bad thing to another person.
All right.
I have one too.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you're a younger kid and you're younger and you have an account and it have it where the internet changes it where you can only have certain videos for a certain age. So if you're a certain age, you can only do certain things. So it'll probably have you put in your age, and then you can just say if you can do this and you can do that. But like if you're not a certain age, then you can't do certain things.
Absolutely.
And like
Santana.
certain people can't contact you, stuff like that.
Santana, you got one?
Yeah, that you can't, there are certain things you can't say. Like, if you're gonna put something rude, then you're gonna get, the account's gonna be deleted. And stuff like that, consequences like that. Because I've seen people comment super rude things, and their comment's still up, and it has like a lot of likes. So I just think those type of things should be taken down.
Okay. So one of the things as we wrap up, I got one question, and I just want to wrap up. Once again, I thank you all so much for being our panel of experts, not only for the adults, but also for other kids that are going to be watching this as well. You all have shared some great ideas and tips that not only kids, but also parents need to know as well. Some of the things that you said that, you know, with the internet, we need to be very good. We need to have good manners on the internet, right? So that means that we need to put out good messages. If it's anything negative, we need to make sure that if you receive anything negative as a kid, that from our panel, what we heard is that first off, you want to make sure that you don't respond. Number two, you want to block it. And number three, tell an adult. And the other thing that I heard from this panel that is, once again, so wonderful, because I know we as adults, a lot of times, you know, we talk about the internet and the digital and how much time our kids are spending on there. But you've heard from our panel of experts that it is very important that even the amount of time that they have utilized on the internet, they still balance things out in their life with other things, whether it's going to be sports and running cross country or drawing and doing art. So what we are really encouraging kids and parents is that the amount of time you spend on the internet, let's look at that, but let's make sure that we are also balancing it out with something else that we can enjoy in life. So to close out, with my panel of experts here, I have one last question for you. And this is your question. What do parents need to know about the internet? Whoever wants to jump in first. What do we need to know? What do parents and adults need to know about the internet?
That is still very dangerous for kids, and they should watch out for certain things.
Watch out for certain things. So basically what I'm hearing from you is that what we need to do as adults, we need to make sure that we're monitoring the sites that you all are going to so that we can make sure that it's safe for you. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Who else wants to jump in?
As we're saying with the parents, like making sure they check up on their the kids' social media and like the internet, like every once in a while to make sure that nothing bad is happening or that they're keeping it good and everything's going right. And that sometimes the internet can be a little like dangerous where it's not all good and like fun. Some people can like, you know, be weird. And so, yeah, so you should just watch out for that. Yeah.
Okay, so that is for the parents again. Santana, give us what do parents need to know? What do parents, adults need to know?
How their kids act, because sometimes it's not other people who are saying the rude things, and it's like your kid who's saying it. So like make sure your kid's not being rude.
Love that. So once again, as adults, it's also our responsibility to make sure that we're monitoring how our kids or the kids that are around us are behaving on the internet. I love that, guys. I love that. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to provide everyone, once again, this has been a great conversation, great panel. I just want to once again thank Oren. I want to thank Javen, and then I want to thank Santana and Sean for being a part of this panel. Parents, you can see how the wealth of knowledge that they have. So Please don't be afraid to ask them questions. They are the experts in this digital world, but it is our responsibility to make sure that they are remaining safe in the digital world. Parents, if you happen to receive any type of obscene messages or photos that your child may receive through the internet, I want to make sure to give you a resource so that you can report that. And it's going to be our cyber tip line. You can go to www.cybertipline.com, and that is managed and operated by the Center for Missing and Exploited Children. They'll make a report, and then we'll let the experts do what they need to do. Also, if you suspect child abuse, anything that's going on right now, we know with NTI, please keep your ears and eyes open, but I want to make sure that we put that information on there as well. And that's going to be 1-877-KY-SAFE-1. Before we close out, any last words from our panel of experts here?
If not, I do.
Any last words, panel? Javen? Oren, Santana, you all got any last words before we close out?
Yes.
Okay.
For all the kids and parents to always be nice and safe on the internet.
Love that. So at this time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it back over to Miss Skinner.
All right. I want to say thank you to our panelists and our special guest, Miss Sonja Grey, and who is the Executive Director of ECHO, which is the Exploited Children's Help Organization, and to Oren Wright, and to Santana Thomas, to Sean Thomas, and Mr. Javen Beckham. We want to thank you for participating in the panel, and I wanted to leave final words. Remember, you are the light of the world, and when we are to be good stewards over social media, and when things don't feel safe, you know exactly what to do, and that is, don't respond, block them, and tell an adult. And our adults have to continue to monitor what our kids are doing on the internet. And have those safety things and have those healthy conversations about what is acceptable behavior and acceptable language on the internet. And let's see. And most of all, don't forget to wear your crowns. And that means to be respectful and to hold yourself accountable and to get out and do other things. Safety, social media is a good tool for us to use. It keeps us connected since we can't have physical contact right now with COVID, but it's also a good tool for school, communication, and for resources. So we want to be good stewards over that. But without further ado, Kingdom Kids, this was a good example of bringing truth to power. Thank you and have a great day.
Bye.
Thank you. Have a good one. Bye-bye.